Hello, dear friends, brothers, and sisters. Welcome to another short episode on absolute happiness. And the title that we have given to this particular episode is called The Cycle of Rebirth. So in this, the intention is to explain to you, you see, how we are born again and again in a physical form or in a physical body. Now, you see, to understand this we are going to try and make this as simple as possible, because you got to keep one thing in mind. You see, the blueprint of what is going to be discussed is already imprinted in your subconscious. The only reason why we don't remember this is because we are very active just in our day-to-day life, in our daily conscious life. So to understand the cycle of rebirth, we need to understand, a part of our nature, right? So when you look at yourself, what you have is the physical body, right? Then you see, after the physical body, you are surrounded by what you call as your astral body, or what we call as the body of desires, right? You see, this body of desires, or the body of feelings, or the astral body, is the source from where all our emotions, all our feelings, all our desires come into us, right? So all around you, you are actually surrounded by the astral body. And then you see, everyone has got thoughts. So after the astral body, you are actually surrounded by what we call as the mental body, right? So just summarizing, everyone has got a physical body, everyone has got feelings, and everyone has got thoughts. So you have this physical form. The physical form is actually surrounded by what we call as the astral form, or the astral body, which is the source of our feelings, and it is connected to what we call as the plane of feelings. And then after the astral body is the mental body. Now, you see, this mental body is quite interesting. This mental body is the source of thoughts, and the mental body consists of two parts. There is the upper mental body and there is the lower mental body, right? The lower mental body is responsible for our normal day-to-day thoughts. But now you look at the upper mental body. This is what we call as the causal body, or what we call as the shining body, right? This is basically where all your previous lives, all your previous karma is actually stored in the upper mental body, or the causal body. Now, before I explain to you this cycle of rebirth, let me give you a small example, right? Say, for example, there is a bucket, right? In which you have got, say, some clear water, say 2 liters of water. So what you do is that you take a dropper and you take some red ink and you put 1 drop of red ink into that bucket. Naturally, now it will become a little bit red. If you put another drop of red ink, it will become more red. So if you keep on putting, say if you put about 30 drops, naturally it will become more red and red and red. So this is a good example of actually explaining this mechanism of rebirth. You see, keeping in mind that you are reborn just in the same way as, you see, you wake up every morning, right, from deep sleep. Similarly, you wake up in a new body after you have finished one particular life, right? Now, there are many other examples, when it is autumn and it's winter, the leaves go away. But then when it is spring, new leaves come, right? So that is another example of being born again. Rest assured, the leaves will come. Rest assured, you will wake up in the morning. Rest assured, you will wake up in another body, because you have not just fallen from the sky. Everyone is a unique personality within itself. Now, you see, what happens is that where your shining body is, or the upper mental body, from this actually comes out a drop, right, of what we call as a spark of light. You come into the mental plane, lower mental plane, and your mental body is formed, right? So everyone has a unique way of thinking. This is what we call as your unique mental habits. Your unique way of thoughts is what we call as the mental body. Then this mental body is now formed, and you continue traveling. Now, one thing very interesting happens. You see, when this spark of divine light comes out from this upper mental body, it is shown a picture of what you are going to learn, what you are going to experience in this particular life, right? You have a very clear picture, and you see all the events, everything that you're actually going to do in this life. Then what happens is, you see, now the mental body is formed. After the mental body is formed, you travel into the astral plane, and then your astral body is formed. Now, while the mental and the astral body are formed, and what is the astral body? Astral body is surrounding your physical form, and it is the peculiar way your feelings come into you. Everyone has their own way of feelings. Everyone is unique to that, right? That is what your astral body is, or the body of feelings is. Now, in the meantime, what actually has been happening is that in the womb of the mother, right, that child, the physical form of that child is being formed, right? The heart, the lungs, and whatever it is. And when the baby is actually ready, right, that baby which was before in the womb, we may call it as a water breathing baby, the moment it comes out, you see, it breathes air. You see, your astral body and your mental body, they lock in. What I have not added to this is that beyond that is your body of intuition and the body of spirit. They also lock in at that time, and then that spirit is with that body for that lifetime, right? But let us just be concerned with just the simple mechanism of rebirth. So now, once the physical body has been formed, the astral body, the mental body, your body of intuition and your spirit, they lock in, right? And then you continue for a lifetime of 70 years or 80 years or 90 years. Now what has happened is that now actually when your birth has taken place in the physical form, you see, everything has gone into subconscious. You have completely forgotten how the mental body was formed. You've completely forgotten how the astral body was formed, right? Very interesting. This all sits in the subconscious, but as I talk to you, you can recollect all this because this is a blueprint already sitting in your subconscious, right? So everything sits in the subconscious. You carry on with your physical life for one lifetime, and then what happens is, when you die, when you leave this physical form, you enter into your astral body. You see, having entered into the astral body, you spend, quite a bit of time in the astral plane. We won't go into the details of that. It can be up to 3 times of your physical life, up to 300 years, of a physical life. So after having spent your time in the astral body, in the astral plane, then this is the second death which takes place. The astral body dies, and then you enter into your mental body, right? Now, when you enter into your mental body, then you spend some time in the mental plane, just with your thoughts. And then eventually the time comes for the mental body to leave as well, and you return back to your causal body or the shining body. So now when you return back to the shining body, you see, as I've given you that example of that bucket of water in which if you add a red drop, it becomes red. So similarly, you add the experiences of this current life that you have just gone by, and your causal body is enriched by the experiences, good or bad, whatever they may be, of that particular lifetime. So this is the cycle of reincarnation, right? But one thing that actually you've got to realize is that you are beyond the cycle of reincarnation, right? Why? Because you're conscious of everything that I've actually discussed with you. So summarizing again very briefly, you start from your upper mental body, the causal body, you form your mental body in the mental plane, then your astral body in the astral plane. Then as soon as the baby or the child comes out from the womb, the two lock in. And that is how you have your unique physical body, astral body, mental body. You spend a lifetime at the physical level. Then when it comes time to die, you shed your physical form. Then you enter into your astral form, spend some life in the astral plane. Then you shed your astral form, come into your mental body, spend some time in the mental body, shed the mental form, and then come back to your causal body. So this is what you keep on doing, and you keep on gaining experiences every lifetime. There was a question asked, how many lives have you had before? The question is, how many stars are there in the sky, right? But what you have got to realize is that even though now you are conscious of this cycle of rebirth, but remember that we are talking about a state of absolute happiness. These are all temporary. These lives and all the activities in them, they come and go. You see, one side of you, your higher nature, which is your body of intuition and your spirit, right? They are changeless. They don't every time come and take a new rebirth. They remain the same in all your lives. You've got to realize that you are actually the undying spirit. You are actually, you see, what we call as the reality. You are actually the absolute happiness, right? Why? Because the simple proof and answer to this is that anything that you do, whatever it may be in space and time, you are conscious of whatever you are doing, and only that which is consciousness can be conscious of whatever is actually happening. And you as consciousness, you as awareness, you as the absolute reality, you as that silent changeless observer, you as that silent changeless witness, you are ever present in all your lives, right? So though your lower nature is always changing, but your higher nature, you as the light of consciousness, you see, remain the same, right? And if you realize that true nature of yours, then that is how you acquire, or you are actually, you realize and you consciously know about your true nature, right? So I hope that this short video on the cycle of rebirth has been useful to you, and it will shed more light, more knowledge in your day-to-day life, and bring more peace and happiness and unconditional love in your life. Thank you once again very much for having given your time to have listened to this video. Namaskar and take care.